Dogs are good friends to mankind. Despite them being carnivorous, we keep them as pets and for security purposes. Welcome to our first episode of The Woof Show, where we will venture in the world of dog keeping.
Dog enthusiasts. I have three types of dogs that stay with me, namely South African Boerboel, Pit Bull, American Pit Bull Pink Nose, and an English Terrier. I choose to have dogs is because they are man's companion, they are faithful, they are protectors, and most of all, they make me happy as a person. I chose to have this specific type of breeds because number one, the big one, the South African Boerboel, came from South Africa, and they are mostly house companions as well as protectors. Being a family man and I have three children, I keep them quite well. Why I chose to have this type of dogs is because a South African Boerboel, coming from what I've grown up knowing, is they are faithful, they are protectors as well as their family dogs. Why I chose a Pit Bull is because there's this notion that Pit Bulls are very dangerous dogs and have been banned in countries like the UK and some states in the US, but it depends on how you bring them up. Then my last dog, the English Terrier, is a very good dog in terms of alertness, and also it stays with the children in the house. It's like a small alarm system. Anytime anything moves in the compound, whether it's in the house or outside, it goes crazy, like woo 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 everywhere. So that's why I keep the three types of dogs. And the other reason why I decided to keep a variety of types of dogs, as much as I had go from a dog that is about 52 kilos to a dog that's 10 kilos, is because of the variation. Also decide to keep the pit and the boer together is because they support each other. Having a large breed, if you have two large breeds together, they become a bit unmanageable, and it takes a lot of time as a dog owner to keep them, to control them. So with that, I've really domesticated the Pit Bull to a point that it has no longer been a dog that is to fear. But at the same time, once the type of conditioning that I've done with them is, during the day they stay with the children, and whenever the children are outside, they are always happy with them. But when night falls in, they change their character. They become more of protection dogs, guard dogs. And as I said, the small one, the small English Terrier, is he's quite the man of the compound, only when it comes to alerting and keeping the home safe. So one of the things that I've done is I picked the dogs up from when they were tiny, from about 2 months of age. That way they grow up knowing that I'm the alpha male in the compound. If you do not do that, the dogs become really untamable. They start trying to show you the superiority of who they are and what they do. The Boerboel I got from, I imported it from South Africa for about 250,000, and it comes from a family line of dogs that are quite, you know their lineage. You tend to know what type of diseases they come from, what type of issues they'll have, because sometimes with the large type of breeds, they have a problem of their hips. Most you find a dog going on the sideways, so that's a hip displacement or hip disjointed issue that most dogs have. Then I specifically also got her from a specific breeder in South Africa because I wanted that specific color, the fawn. Because with Boerboels you tend to have about three main colors. It's like a cobalt brown, this fawn color which is almost white, then there's the brindle, which is a mixture of black, browns, whites in it, which is quite a desirable color, but I liked the fawn color. Then the Pit Bull I acquired from a lady in Karen. She breeds them, but I got it as a gift because most Pit Bulls go for about 150,000 shillings. Proper breed, because there are two types of Pit Bulls. There's the pink nose Pit Bull and the blue nose Pit Bulls. The blue noses tend to be shorter and wider, with a wide big chest. Then the pink noses tend to be a bit smaller, lean, and they can even scale a wall of 10 feet comfortably. They can climb it comfortably. So I prefer that type. Then the English Terrier I got from a breeder also in Karen for 25,000 shillings. And most of the English Terriers tend to be white and black. But this one has completely white fur. Then the reason why I picked specifically this one was because it has this whitish blue haze on the eyes. That's why I also named him Blue. The other thing is with the pit bull, she's called Zola. I had two, but one unfortunately died, the male. So I have a female that's the remaining one, and she's called Zola. The male, the boa is called Elora. I liked Elora because it sounds like the name is temple. It means a temple. So I like exquisite names for naming my dogs. Now the other thing I like about why I got these dogs, as I said, family, companionship, and that is one of the biggest things I decided to do with them. The companionship part of it is they're not like humans. Once we get angry with each other, it will take a few days or a few hours to get back to each other. With a dog, even if you beat it now and call it, it will still come back to you faithful. It will not look at you like, why did you beat me? It will still love you. It will still slobber over you completely. That's why I like them. Now, when it comes to training them, as I said earlier, I got them from an age of 2 months, so that as much as I try to show that I'm the alpha, I also want them to feel like this is their pack, because naturally dogs come from the family of Lupus canis, which is wolves. And when you look at wolves tend to move in packs. That's why I find people who have one dog not really doing any justice to it. Unless they are really involved in their lives, it's not really something that should be done. That is according to my opinion. So as I was talking about training, why I took them at that age is because when they grow up, they tend to know your type of attitude. They know when you're angry, when you're happy, and they learn how to live with you. They learn when you teach them, like you give them trigger words with how you train them. If you tell them bite or attack, but you see most conventional trainers do the same thing with that, and they tell them attack. So with that, anyone who walks into your compound who says attack, whether it's a family member, whether it's a friend, they get into that mental state of attacking. So I tend to use different type of words, like I would use maybe Kikuyu words, maybe Luya words, different. You never know, I could say spaghetti, and spaghetti would probably mean attack. And that's why I said training is something that is personal, and you take it upon your dogs. The other reason is with training, you avoid the beating that I've seen mostly on YouTube, and people, the way they train dogs to become fierce. It doesn't work that way. And as I said, the type of breeds I have are mostly protection dogs, but they have been domesticated to a level that they know this is my family, this is my pack, and this is how I need to live with people. So that's what I do with them in terms of training. I would probably say it's not an easy task, because it also needs a lot of time from your side. So what I do is I dedicate my weekends to my dogs, and I involve my family members in terms of the children, because they know if we are being told to run, also the children run with them. If they're being told to, when we play with toys, like we have these small ropes that we make into balls, that we teach them how to bite and bite down on it. Once they bite down on it, they don't let go until you tell them to let go. And that's what some of the things we do. The basic training and obedience, what we do in terms of sitting down, to let them go down, to stay, like when you put something down, don't bite it or leave it. Those are small things that you train, and you teach them with the obedience. In terms of things like omena, I use omena and bread. So for them, when they see bread, they know they have to do something for me. But with when you do that with other people, you see, as I said, I've taught them to know that I'm the alpha. So whenever I carry something, they know it's from me, so it's a good thing.
End of our first episode. Let's learn more about dog keeping on our next episode.